Today we're going to be taking a look at the 26650 Stingray X mechanical mod. Alright, I picked this up over at Iron Vaping for like 30 bucks. And I've had this device for probably about 3 weeks now. And according to the website, they're trying to claim like this is an authentic device, but I completely disagree with that. They're trying to say because the original mod maker didn't make this in 26650, that makes this an authentic. Just because it's a 26650 doesn't make it an authentic. It has a silver plated brass contact for the top pin, and then a copper contact for the bottom pin. The 510 at the top is floating. I'll pull this off and show you what I mean. There you go. The entire tube itself is copper. On the outside is a stainless steel sleeve. One of the issues I had when I first got this was this sleeve was so loose that I could just pull it off of the copper. So what I ended up doing was taking spray adhesive and sprayed it on the copper, and then I slid the tube back down over it, and that seems to be working out pretty good. The threading is nice on this. The locking ring doesn't feel cheap. It's not flimsy or anything like that. The fire switch, it's got a nice smooth throw on it. The threading's decent. Here's the box that everything came in. Inside the box, we also get a hybrid top cap. And usually what you want to do with these hybrid top caps is take your RDA and then you thread it on like this. Then you want to make sure on the bottom that your 510 pin is protruding out far enough to make contact with the top of the battery. You definitely don't want it to short out. I'm not comfortable with where it's at, so I'm going to screw it out a little bit. And that should be sufficient right there. Then you would take it and thread it on. We'll go ahead and put my locking ring back on here. And so far, I mean, this has been a pretty good device. So now I've got my locking ring back on. Here's the 26650 I'm going to be using. It's an AWT IMR 26650. It claims that it's a 5200 milliamp hour at 45 amps. So far, these batteries haven't been bad. I bought 3 of them, and they've been working out pretty good. I got a dual parallel build on my Zephyr Buddha ZV2. I've got my airflow on this about halfway open. Here's what the entire setup looks like. It's nice and simple. It's just a simple tube with a 26650 battery in it. I've got my hybrid top cap on here, so you just want to make sure when you're using them, you make sure that your 510 pin is protruding out enough, and you'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and vape this with the hybrid top cap on it, and then I'll switch it back to the regular top cap here. So let's give this a vape real quick. I'll show you how it performs, and then I'll talk about it some more. Got some one-hit wonder Milkman I'm going to be vaping in this. So I went ahead and switched out top caps. Okay, so as you can see, the performance is pretty good on it. The biggest problem with this device is that it's massive and it's extremely heavy. So when I set it down, it starts firing. And that's just because, number one, this RDA is extremely heavy because it's a 26650 and it's, solid stainless steel. Whenever I set my device down, even if I try to set it down really light, you see it's got so much weight that it pushes it to one side and then it auto fires. Whenever I'm using it and I go to sit it down, I have to do this right here. It's just a pain to have to mess around with it like that. So the biggest cons on this device, it's really heavy. You have to constantly use the locking ring in order to keep it from auto firing when you set it down. Then I also had to put adhesive on the stainless steel sleeve that surrounds the copper. I picked the device up for like 30 bucks. So, you can't really expect too much in the way of like high quality or anything like that. I would still expect it to be a little bit better than it is. Would I buy the 26650 version again? There's no way, because it's just too much of a hassle. I think with the Zephyr Buddha Z on here, it looks sexy as hell. But the fact that it's so heavy that when I have to set it down, I have to lock the locking ring and all that, I just don't like to have to do that. But as far as the performance, I mean, it performs very well. I mean, I'm happy that I got the device. I just wish that it wasn't so heavy that, when I set it down, it wouldn't fire. That's the only thing that bothers me. For 30 bucks, it wasn't a bad purchase, but it's not one of the best I've made neither. So that's really about it, guys. That's what I've got for you. That's the 26650 stainless steel Stingray X mechanical mod. So until next time, guys, take care.